Hi, everyone. Welcome to Sinners and Saints. I I would say most of you don't know me, or some of the viewers may know me. We're going to do some quick introductions, real quick, of my fabulous players. I'm Adam. I'll be the game master for Sinners and Saints. Let's go around and start with Mary. Mary, why don't you give us like a 10-second introduction of who you are, or at least the actress player.
Hi, I'm Catherine. I'll be playing Mary Parker. This is my second cult game, so I'm very excited to get into this.
All right, let's jump down to Eve Keller.
Hi, I'm Caroline. I'll be playing Eve Keller. This is my first cult game, and I'm very excited to see what I've gotten myself into.
A lot of fun, I hope. Let's jump over to Peter St. Clair. Peter.
Hi there, I am Jonathan. I am a longtime LARPer and role player. This is actually going to be my first time playing Cult, so I am looking forward to all of the craziness that Adam throws at me.
Awesome. And Simone Sinclair.
Hi, I'm Alex, also longtime LARPer and role player, but also my first time playing Cult, so I'm pretty jazzed.
So I've played with, at least more frequently, 3 of the players. This will be Simone's first time playing with me. So everyone else has an idea of what to expect. You will be brand new. For those that are just joining us or have never played Cult before, the important thing, Cult is a horror role-playing game. And a big thing that I really like doing is I like terrifying characters and exciting players, but not terrifying the players. So Cult has a thing called the horror contract, which is essentially some rules we agree to, topics that are appropriate and are inappropriate. Before I started this all up, I sent everyone a Monty Cook's consent guide. I have a little form. They filled out topics that they were comfortable with and they weren't. So just to kind of let everybody know what we're doing, we have a code system I call green, yellow, and red. Green topics are fair game in theory. Yellow topics are ones that we should maybe negotiate before we happen. I have let the players know a little bit of what might happen tonight, so I've given some content warning to them. Red topics are things that do not come up. At any time, should the players feel uncomfortable, they can change where they fall with certain topics. It may have been green, but maybe we've struck a nerve. Now we've got to move to yellow. So the players will say yellow card or yellow topic, and they will say what the problem is or some way to alter the scene to maybe make it more comfortable for them. And red topics, if someone brings up red card, red topic, we will move on, and we don't ask why, because it's like when you go to a haunted house. You go into the haunted house knowing that you're going to be scared, but you're not really going to be hurt. Just like a roller coaster and a million other analogies. So yeah, we've done that. So our red topics are very simple. I'd say we don't have any extreme graphic violence, and like extreme detail, no graphic sexual assault. We have flagged yellow topics such as intimacy. So when that brings up anything more than a passing comment, should any of the fine players wish to make a passing comment to an NPC, we'll let that go. But if someone feels they need to do a little bit more to get past the evil monster, they will bring up to me yellow topic and we'll set up our parameters. So Players, anything else I need to know before we get started into Sinners and Saints?
No.
Nope.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get started. So, welcome to the world of KULT, the world in darkness. You will be playing characters who have yet to see the truth, to see past the illusion, or some of you are just starting to see it. You are all either a member of the St. Clair family, a family that has spread across the world, has its fingers in many pies, but you specifically live in the city, and you are part of the criminal underworld or have some connection to it. So, however, there is a new player in town, the Seven Deadly Sins gang, that has been spreading their drug, E. It has brought you into a great deal of conflict with them, and it could potentially boil over. So that being said, let's get started. I have some notes, obviously. All right. We will start with Mary. Mary, you are the bartender, the head bartender, almost the manager, as it were, of Eden. The Eden nightclub, bar, concert hall. You were behind the bar, tending it. Is there anything specific that you're doing this night? It is a Thursday night. The college crowd has yet to really come in. It's a little bit slow right now. What is it that you're doing?
I'm probably cleaning up and taking a little bit of inventory to make sure that we have all of the bottles ready.
Okay. The bouncer. And the bouncer's name, Michael Lincoln. Tight white shirt, not balding, shaved head, tattoos. Sits a man down at the bar. The boss will see you in a moment, he says. The sleazy gentleman sits at the bar. Barkeep, take a whiskey.
Gonna be annoyed and then going to turn around and just kind of not really acknowledge that fairly rude comment. And I'm going to reach for the whiskey I'm gonna go for the top shelf, but then stop and go down to mid shelf. And then pour him a drink and walk over.
For the audience, as Mary starts to reach for, at first the top shelf, but then the mid shelf, our patron seems to look her up and down. Hey, I think I know you. You're Mary, aren't you?
Yeah, and you are?
Yeah. Doug Lowe. Used to be Officer Doug Lowe, but working in the private sector now. This may be inappropriate, but you were here the night it happened, weren't you? The night the old Don bit it. Didn't he? That's right. You were behind the bar and he died right over there. That was a gruesome. Oh, excuse my language. I'm sorry. Where's that drink though?
I'm gonna just plop it in front of him and just let a little bit spill out. Like, not a great topic around here.
What brings me into town? You know what? Can I have one more?
Okay. She'll go as he's finishing his glass. She'll grab a new glass and...
Yellow topic for you, Mary. There is going to be an unwanted advance. Are you comfortable with that?
Yes.
Okay, cool. He will reach forward and gives Mary a very firm-handed squeeze on her behind.
Okay. Mary is going to grab the bottle.
But before you do that, Mary, you have a fun disadvantage I think you need to roll for. And your disadvantage for our first-time viewers, I believe, is... What are we doing? This one is the... Oh, where is all my PDFs of everyone's sheet, of course. Oh, yeah, it's right here. For you, you are rolling for your involuntary medium.
Oof.
So go ahead and roll. For those that don't know, KULT uses 2d10s. 15 and above is complete success, 9 to 10 is partial, and 9 and below is a terrible failure. 8?
8.
Okay, 8. That is a terrible failure, but it is only going to make things more interesting rather than bad. So, he reaches forward, takes a squeeze of your behind. Begin your narrative of what's going to happen, and I will interrupt you if anything changes.
So Mary's been here a while. She's somewhat used to it. So she's grabbing the bottle and at the same time reaching behind and grabbing his hand and trying to shove the bottle into his hand.
And with that, your eyes briefly glow black, and Doug does not seem to notice that because he is too busy shrieking in horror at what you are doing to his hand. Michael Lincoln, the bouncer, something seems to catch his attention as he looks back, a bright light, but he doesn't see much of it. It's almost as if most bars have the mirror behind them, as if there is some sort of flash behind your head, and then there is a shatter. And you look down as you come to your senses and realize that you have shattered the glass in Michael's hand. Ah! Ugh.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. And I'm like looking around the bar. I'm find a rag and I'm just like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
and then I'm going to look over, Michael.
So Mike comes over, scene, and as I real quick dab my computer to not get blood all over it. Michael will look at him. It's time to see the boss anyway. Get up. All right. Careful with the hand. Michael looks at you. You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah. Come on, Doug. As they drag him upstairs. And that's where we'll go, to upstairs. This is above the Eden nightclub. A very almost gothically appointed office. The door opens, and in a large, dark brown oak table, or not table, desk, sits Peter St. Clair. The door opens. And Peter, in walks Doug Lowe, private investigator. You've had dealings in the past. His hand is bleeding.
Not having a very good night, are you, Mr. Lowe?
Yeah, you could say that.
Stick
to
your
see you,
fingers,
Peter.
try to grab something that didn't belong to you.
Yeah. Guess instant karma.
It's a bitch.
Yeah. Anyway, can I sit?
Of course.
I know we haven't talked much since it happened, but I wanted to extend my condolences about your father.
I'm sure you did. Thank you, Mr. Lowe. But I'm pretty sure that you didn't stop by here tonight to offer me your condolences. I'm a busy
Actually,
man.
No, I didn't. But it is your father that brought me here, in a way. I know you've always held a grudge. I mean, hell, if that happened to my father, I'd hold a grudge too. But, I always knew you'd be interested if I found any information, and it just so happens I did. Now, normally, I'd have just called you straight away, but you know now I work for Mr. Milton now. And I told him about the information I had, and
What you did.
yeah, I know you're gonna be mad, but we all got bosses. He said there's a price for this.
What does he want?
Apparently you and the 7 deadly sins have been fighting through the Riverside Angels. He wants you to try to make peace with them one more time. He told me to tell you that if you try your best, sometimes people don't listen to reason. I don't know. I don't want to know the details. But if you do that, he's going to pay my way to look down this lead. And it might lead me to your father's killer. I don't know. but it looks promising. So,
You said it's just a talk, it's just an attempt.
I mean, you're the one who's got to face Mr. Milton. So if you can look him in the eye.
Obviously, I'm not going to half-ass anything that Mr. Milton wants done.
Yeah, it's not a good way to
Fine.
live too long.
Fine.
Fine?
I can't guarantee success, but I will give it my damnedest.
That's all I heard was I got a job, and making Mr. Milton happen and making the Sinclairs happy. Everybody wins. Well, set my drink in hand. So, with that, I won't take up too much more of your time.
Excellent. Let Mr. Milton know as soon as possible that we are willing to try to come to the table and make peace.
I'll tell him. So he stands and walks out. Excuse me, everyone. That'll take us to our next scene. We'll fade to black, and the scene will appear in a rundown building. Urban decay has definitely infested the south side and in parts of Riverside. Finding a job is difficult. You do what you have to. And inside this decrepit building is Eve Keller and her friend Caleb. Caleb is a tall man, really big bushy beard, has almost a beanie, but it's like extended. It goes above his head, biker jacket. And Eve, Eve has a baseball bat in her hand. And another gentleman seems to be having a rough night. Unfortunately, Eve, we can't hear you. It seems someone has taken your voice. Perhaps unmute yourself.
I don't know what you're talking about. So, are you sorry yet?
Look, it was just a fucking you shortchanged me. That's all. Things got a little out of hand.
We shortchanged you?
Look, I'm not saying you did it, Eve. I'm saying one of your guys. Jack he's always looking for an extra dime, and it was a little short, so we got a little rough with him. I'm sorry he ended up in the hospital.
I'm hearing a lot of there was a sorry at the end. There was a lot of explanation and not a lot of answering the question, are you fucking sorry yet? We don't shortchange. We run business here. We paid for what you gave. If we shortchanged you, you shortchanged us first. I don't want to have to keep hurting you. But this is what you're making me do to you.
I can't believe you're the one here busting my balls.
Yeah.
About all this when what happened to Kiza? What the St. Clairs did to her, and now she's gone and you're licking their boot? Who the do you think you are?
I'm Eve Keller. And everyone. Not that it's any of your business. We all have to do necessary evils. We all have to do things to get by. What happened to Kiza was a tragedy, and I miss her every day. But don't you say that what I have to do to get me and mine safe, don't you dare say that makes me a bad person. You want to know, like, I have a lot of things that make me a bad person, but making sure my family is safe and fed is not one of them.
All right. Okay. You want to hear me say it? Fine.
I want to hear you say
Sorry
it.
what happened to Jack. It was an accident.
Is it going to happen again?
It sounds like it better fucking not.
Better fucking not.
Your phone rings. Eve. And it's from Peter St. Clair.
Yes.
I need
Really?
you and yours in tonight.
Okay. We can do this. When?
As soon as possible. Strategy meeting. We're about to make peace with the Seven Deadlies. Or at least try for it.
Okay. Okay. I'll be there. Thanks.
Waiting for you.
Okay, bye. It's not gonna happen again.
You're right. It's not gonna.
All right. Caleb, I think we can let this one go. Just, I don't know, give him a couple bruises.
Yeah, I got it, boss. And as he moves towards our unlucky individual, the camera will again fade to black. And when our scene opens, we see a very barren hallway. Wooden hallway that leads to an open door. The small room inside has nothing more than a twin bed, a small nightstand, a very small desk. But it is in shambles. There's paper all over the walls, apparently the ravings of a madman. In the room, there are two Catholic nuns, two sisters, cleaning it up. Standing in the doorway is Simone Sinclair. Simone, what do you do?
I look around at the ruins of this room and think about Father Ezekiel, who spent so much time here. I hope he'll be okay.
A voice from behind. It is Sister Susanna Moore. God be with you, Simone. It is a tough time, I know.
What are we going to do?
The father will be taken care of at Keith Memorial Hospital. They'll be able to give him the help he needs. Or we hope that he can. And we can do nothing but pray for him.
It is God's will.
And sometimes God shows us a great deal. And not all have the strength to bear it, even the good Father. Sister, she says, reaching to you, walk with me. There is something I must show you.
Of course.
You walk down the hallway. The plain hallway gives way to much more ornamental and decorative hallway. Very, not luxurious, perhaps very ornate. Someone help me with the word here. Fancy. Not a very fancy, not a very good word, but very well appointed statues, nice molding. And it leads to a large wooden door. It's definitely got one of those crescents. It's not just a normal rectangle. Above it, there is angels and the, various depictions of the crucifixion. The door is heavily locked, and the sister will reach into her robe, and she will pull out a very large key, opens it, and leads you inside. Once inside, she locks the door. The sound of the bolt connecting echoes through this room. You've been in here once or twice, but not often. Behind the desk, there is a very large book. You cannot see what is written in it from there, but... Sister, I know you have been with us for a while, the redeemers of the fallen, and you have studied well, and you have trained well. Your family has donated well to the church, and you have served them well, dealing God's justice. Without the Father here, we shall find someone for you to confess to. No doubt the weights of your sins keep you up every night.
Always.
When was the last time you took a life?
4 days ago.
We shall pray for him, the one you took, and perhaps through Christ's mercy, he will find his way into heaven.
Let us all be forgiven.
It is of heaven I wish to speak, and of Father Ezekiel. You have not seen this, she says, walking towards the book. This is the book of the lost choir. As you know, sister, it is our sworn duty before the church to find angels that have become separated from God and to bring them back to his glory.
Yes.
The priests of the Redeemers of the Fallen sometimes have foresight, and when they see it, they write it down in the book. Father Ezekiel wrote in it last. He wrote of you. She will turn the book towards you, and written in blood is a lot of Latin that you, while you have studied Latin, it is probably not as quickly to recall for you. But there is a, I will say, relatively detailed or realistic painting in blood of you, standing over a angelic-looking creature.
Glory be.
The Father has seen that you will bring the next one, that you will redeem this fallen angel.
Yes, yes, sister.
To do that, you will need the tools. She walks over to the chest, picks up a small box about yay big, so we'll say like, what, a foot by 6 inches. Actually, we'll even say it's just a foot squared. How about that? Polished. Sets it down, and she opens it. And inside, there is what can only be described, or you may describe such a thing, as a halo. It glows with light, but there is something strange about this halo. It is so sharp and so reflective that you feel even by looking at it, it will cut you. And indeed, as you continue to stare at this magnificent thing, your eyes begin to bleed, and so does the sister's. And when you place the halo upon its head, it will be redeemed. And your phone rings.
It takes Simone a second to get back on track with where we are.
The chest will shut, the light and the illumination will disappear. Your phone continues to ring, though. Blah.
Hello?
It is Peter St. Clair.
Simone, I need you to come to Eden. I need you at Eden as soon as possible.
She stares at the box for a few minutes longer and then...
You there?
Yes, I'll be there. I'll be there.
Excellent. Come prepared. We're going to be meeting with the Seven Deadlies. Another attempt at peace talks.
Peace talks?
We're going to give it our best college try.
I understand.
See you there.
I'll be there.
And now we've met our players in the war of sinners and saints. All of you make your way to Eden nightclub. Again, it is Thursday, but college night has begun to pick up. While Mary Parker may lie to herself and tell herself that she is not part of this criminal enterprise, she is only deluding herself. You find yourself, Mary, privy to even more and more conversations. Upstairs, around the large dark oak desk, our conversation begins. Emmanuel, your older brother, Peter, he is out of town right now. He is on his way back. He will be planning to make a conference call with you in a few moments. Our 4 main characters find themselves alone, relatively speaking. A chance to perhaps better acquaint the audience or yourselves with your characters. So I leave it to you to tell this next part of the story.
Well, I think Eve is probably not terribly far from Eden, probably just a bit far, just a little bit east. Heads back into Eden, walks up to the bar and says, Mary, can I get my usual, please?
Eve? Yeah, no problem.
Thanks.
So go down the bar and I'll make her dark and stormy, come back up, bring it to her. Rough night?
You should have seen the other guy. He was, yeah.
You just have a way, don't you?
I really do. Runs in the family, I suppose. How's your night going? It's pretty okay in here.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Still hoping that more people will trickle in.
Oh.
So, but it's Thursday.
Anyone give you any trouble yet today?
Oof. Sleazy guy. Gross.
Ugh.
And Simone shows up a few minutes after that, being a little further out of town, I assume.
Mm-hmm. Mary's gonna look at her. I know you. Cinnamon tea girl.
Cinnamon tea, that's me.
Okay. Same? Or do you want
Same.
a little something in it tonight?
No extras, just the tea, thank you.
Okay. So Mary's gonna go down and she has this very small box of tea, because who has tea at a bar? And will make her tea and come back and put some sugar packets in front of her.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Simone puts exactly 1 sugar in it, because that's all that's proper.
Just one.
Just the one.
Just the one. People give strange looks to the women that put more than 1 sugar in their tea, especially when it's cinnamon or something.
Indulgence is the sign of a weak soul.
Yeah, the Catholics sell indulgences still, right? Don't they?
Giving my cousin a hard time again?
Never. No,
Mary doesn't even need to ask. She's just gonna walk down, go to the top shelf, pull off the bottle of whiskey, and just sit it in front of him with a glass and be like, go to town.
Thank you. Though what I'm probably going to ask in a bit is for you to join us up in VIP, Mary. I'd prefer you being the one to serve for the meeting that we're going to be having.
Yeah, okay. Anything in particular, or are we just doing variety? I've got some new wines in the back, so if you want something a little bit fancier.
Standard basic bottle service.
Got it.
And more hot water.
More hot water. Got it. So, Peter, were you ever going to introduce me to your cousin, you said?
Simone's my cousin, yeah. Simone, Mary, Simone. Introductions.
Good enough for me.
With that, your phone will vibrate, Peter.
And
It's
I
a
will
text
check
from your brother Emmanuel. 5 minutes. I'll call in.
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to head back upstairs right now.
Would be a good time to bring everyone else with you as well.
Yes, and this is a call that obviously the 2 of you can be in on, and I have a feeling, Mary, I'm going to need a few more drinks after this one, so if you'd join us, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, sure. I can do that.
All right, so we find ourselves upstairs. The cell phone is, of course, Bluetooth to some nice speaker. The phone rings. After a few rings, it is finally answered. Peter?
Manuel?
All right, so what's the story?
Milton sent us a messenger tonight.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What does Milton want?
Milton wants us to have another go at peace talks with the Seven Deadlies.
Yeah, like they're gonna fucking listen. That being said, the
All we
shootout
have
with
to do
them.
is try.
The shootout with them 2 weeks ago might have taken the fight out of them.
I was hoping. This is coming out of the blue, so I'm slightly hopeful that they're the ones that approached him to broker this deal.
That's possible. I do know Ethan, the number 2 over there, probably is a little bit more eager for peace than Delilah. She's a little bit more of someone to hold a grudge. Is Simone there?
Simone's
I'm
with me.
here.
Good to hear from you, cousin. Where do you think we should hold this? Should we just do it at Eden?
Eden would give us home field advantage.
Tomorrow's Friday. It's a big night. I think our cousin's playing there as well. Rachel, her and her band.
Yeah,
Oh,
Rachel's supposed to go on.
yeah, that band she plays in. What is it called? Let's quickly look it up. Oh, I didn't write it down. Of course not. Yeah, that would have been really cool to drop that in and seem like I was prepared. I might have written it down. If it don't happen, who cares? Oh, yes, because I'm very proud of my name. Oh, yeah, that's right. They just renamed it the Black Madonna. Yeah.
Right. That's what it
So
is
they'll
this
be-
week.
They'll be running that. All right. That'll give us cover. Give us a reason to check everyone at the door. And if Simone's there, no one expects her. Eve, is this going to be a problem? I know you're there.
I'm here. Just depends on how thoroughly they check me and my boys. Depends on how dirty you want it to get inside, if you do.
I think a show of force is good. What do you think, Peter?
I think a show of
Alright.
force is going to be ideal in this situation.
I'll make sure to bring the ceramics.
Yeah, we'll have drinks.
Yeah.
Have drinks.
I want to be prepared for everything to go completely sideways, but hope that we can actually pull this off.
All right, okay. So, there. I won't be in town till tomorrow night, so you're going to have to take point on this, Peter.
I've got it.
I'm going to let you and Ezra, the numbers guy, if you guys, whatever the deal has got to be, I'm going to trust you to get it done. I'm heading back from New York after seeing Noah.
Oh,
He asked
Noah.
about you, by the way. Oh, he's doing
Sure
good. Yeah, he actually, I think he wants you to take over in New York if we're doing too well down here, but I can't see you anywhere but in the South Side. But we'll deal with that then. All right.
Too well.
I'm going to leave it to you guys to set up the details. Simone will be there because no one expects that. And I assume we don't want to get Mary too involved in this, so let Mary do her thing.
She'll be pouring. I trust her, and I trust her not to open her mouth about whatever she might hear.
Exactly. All right. Well, I'm going to be heading through the tunnel here. I'm going to lose you in a second. I'll leave it to you. Any other
Right.
details you need to make done, get it done. Let's
get
try to
done.
make this happen. Actually, before I feel like his character wouldn't ask. Do you may want to bring up to your brother who, and what you're doing this for? There we go.
Yes, actually, all things considered. I'm just going to be upfront that I have a vested interest in this, in taking this, and it doesn't matter whether it succeeds or fails. We're still going to get paid.
Oh yeah. What's our vested interest in this other than getting paid?
A lead on who took out
Lead
Dad.
on Really?
Milton's the gatekeeper on this one.
Motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
All right, though. You know what? I'm not even gonna be fucking mad about it. Because if we get this done, we get rid of two birds, one stone.
Exactly.
And if Milton's willing to pull the death of our father over us, this has got to be worth something.
Knew he was a son of a bitch.
Not gonna do it for peanuts. All right, I'm gonna try to move up my timetable. I'm gonna see if I can make it at least for the tail end of the meeting. Don't wait up. Do what you got to get it done.
Absolutely.
But I'm gonna take care of some things here, and I'll be back as soon as I can.
All right. It'll get done.
All right. And the phone disconnects with Emmanuel St. Clair. It is left to the three of you, well, the four of you, even though Mary would never dare sully your hands. She's too much of a good girl, is she? So, before we move on to the night of the meeting, is there anything that we need to do? Is there something important you guys need to tell me? Like, I want to have, we're going to have cavity searches at the front door for everybody. What's your security plan here, given the fact that it's the 7 deadly sins, you guys are mobsters and gangsters and crazy religious zealot and a bartender. Clearly, between the 4 of you, you can prepare for anything. So,
pretty sure that metal detectors will be on at the doors. There is going to be a short list of people that get, further pat downs, and of course, Eve and her people are mysteriously not on that list anywhere.
Oh, weird.
Gotcha. So I will point out 2 particular advantages of 2 characters that we have. Eve, you are the gang leader, so you can order your gang to do things for you by making a check if there's anything you wanted them to do. John, not John, excuse me, Peter St. Clair. You are one of the mob bosses, so you can do the same thing with your henchmen. If you wanted to do that. You also have influential friends, if you wanted something else like that. So I'm giving you the option. That being said, if you roll really bad on these, it could make the story more interesting.
I mean, nobody ever, read the story about the hobbit that stayed home and made only good decisions. So
Fair.
Exactly. So I just didn't know, and everyone else can take a look at your character sheets if there's something you wanted to do.
I would like to make sure that, the most notable members of my gang, like mostly just Caleb and myself, along with anybody else, make sure that they can get their hands on like ceramic boot knives, see if they, make sure that they've got whatever they need. Loaded, strapped, unregistered, ideally.
I don't even think, part of me's thinking we don't even need a roll for that, because I feel like
it's not terribly dangerous. It's probably all stuff they already have.
Acquire items, because you have Streetwise, you can acquire items or services from the criminal underworld. I feel like sharp ceramic objects are not particularly difficult to get a hold of.
Ceramic boot knives are strangely easy to get, weirdly enough.
Gotcha. So I think we're not going to worry about that. So you guys got that. Like, there's no need for any particular more detail in regards to that. Anyone else doing something before the big meeting tomorrow?
Go ahead. Anybody else?
Thank you. Mary doesn't know who John Milton is, so she is going to see if she can just hear anything, because we have a lot of guys running through the bar. So maybe try and read the crowd to see if I can pick up something. Because if the grunts are talking about it, they would be running
Gotcha.
around.
All right, yeah, I'll give you a read the crowd check, which for you is a perception check. So roll, your perception is +2. So let's see what happens.
13.
13, that is a partial success. So the example would be, you get to ask 2 questions, but you draw unwanted attention to yourself. Oh my God, asking about John Milton, who even the mob boss is scared of. Clearly nothing bad can happen from that.
Nothing bad happens ever.
Let me make a note real quick.
Go wrong?
I'm just writing down, sorry. Okay, yeah. So you get to ask 2 questions. The 4 example questions are who here has the information I want? Boom, I assume it's the first one you're going to ask. And we'll say it's, we'll say, Aaron is his name. So Aaron is there. He's a middle-aged man. He's been with the family for a little bit. He comes in on Thursdays for 2 reasons: to pick up a drink, and all the hot college girls are here. So, gives him something to do as he's slowly aging. And then I guess your other questions you could ask, where can I find, who is watching me? Is there anything of interest? But I think all you really didn't know is who had that info.
Yeah, who had that info?
All right, so I'm Aaron, and you are going to give me a drink and try to get me to talk because you're a bartender.
Yep. Has he started drinking already, or is he just sitting down right now?
He's already got a drink. We'll just say sure. Why not?
Okay, cool. Then I'm gonna come over and top him up and just, like, hey, I know things have been kind of crazy out there. How are you doing?
Doing fine, I guess. Mary, I don't need to go into all the detail. I know you don't like hearing about this. Trying to keep your nose clean.
No, but you look like you're having a really hard night. I mean, you don't have to go into major details, but I've heard about the 7, so.
Well, it's a tough business. But I'm doing okay. It's college night, he says, looking at the dance floor, clearly surveying all of the beautiful young women that he is far too old to even approach without feeling like the father, perhaps even the grandfather. So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to play that unwanted. Doing this, I'm going to be a little bit more direct with him, so.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm going to be like, yeah, well, 7 deadlies are out there. John Milton is out there. So what's going on with him?
I figured you'd have been around here long enough to know who John Milton is. St. Clair's don't work alone. He's like one of the big wigs downtown. Owns like a law firm, everything. If there's anything illegal or legal, if there's a fair amount of money to be made, John Milton knows about it. And he's involved. And he's not someone to mess with. Even Emmanuel knows to dot his I's, cross his T's. Nobody likes messing with the Black Crown.
Got it. Okay. Thank you. You're always so helpful. I know to be careful.
Yeah,
and I'm just gonna, grab his arm a little bit and
kind of thing. Gotcha.
And then just kind of keep filling him up.
Gotcha. All right. Anyone else, Simone or Peter, before we begin?
I want to make sure that I'm on a list to not go through a metal detector.
Oh, yes. Duh.
Yeah.
No reason at all.
Not at all. Just those rosaries trip them off all the time.
All the time.
It's I have piercings or something.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right.
So that's done. Peter, anything else?
Yeah, I do think that I am actually going to use that
Boss ability?
Yes, that boss ability that I have here, because that just strikes me as a good idea and a great choice to
potentially do amazing or terrible at.
Yes, exactly.
All right, give me a coolness check.
If you're not gonna live, right? Okay, so I'm rolling my 2 dice. I have 12 on the dice plus 1 from coolness.
13. So they follow your orders, but the GM picks one option. Someone gets in trouble, the job isn't done, something else needs to be completed, or there will be repercussions later on. I'm going to save it for those repercussions later on, because it's like I wrote this, and I may have an idea of the shenanigans I'm going to pull next. So, anything else before we jump into that? No?
If I'm around, can I take note of what car Milton comes in case someone happens to need to follow it home later?
Milton is not coming to the meeting as far as you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, incidentally, that would be great information to know. John, the mysterious corporate boss overlord, isn't here tonight.
God.
Why can't he have terrible timing? So, is that all?
I think just at the beginning of the meeting, or like that evening, I am gonna make sure that me and my boys show up early.
Gotcha. Well, that sounds like a thing for then.
Okay.
Okay, so we are an hour in. Do we need a 5-minute break, anybody?
Just 5 minutes, yeah.
I'd like a 5 minute.
5-minute break.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll take a 5-minute break. Our lovely producer is going to put up something, and hopefully I hope to see all of you back. We have right now 40 people viewing. Sounds great. It's a great time for you to take a bathroom break.
Oh my gosh.
And maybe we can chat if we get back early or something.
Absolutely.
And then after 5 minutes, we'll be back and we'll see what happens.
See y'all in a few.
All right. Welcome back to Sinners and Saints. Hope everyone enjoyed their break. Looking at the chat, it sounds like everybody went and got a drink. So that sounds good. So let's get back to it now that we are. So the sun rises and then sets on our Saturday night in this city. Eden on Saturday night is a very, very busy club. Strobe lights, very gothic. There is a stage in which the Black Madonna, headlined by Rachel Sinclair, hacks the place. It is very full, still enough room to move around, but this is the place to be on a Saturday night. If you like rock and the goth scene, this is where you want to be. So, and come they have, as well as the intention, some other guests, the 7 deadly sins. You have been informed, Peter Sinclair, that 3 individuals will show up. Essentially, Ethan, is his last name Meadows? I don't want to lie to everybody. I know they probably don't care about NPCs' last names, but that's okay. I prepared. It is Ethan Meadows. He is the underboss of the 7 deadly sins. Was not very excited about this meeting. Didn't want it to happen, but Delilah, the leader of the 7 deadly sins, insisted. She's sending 3 individuals. Bobby D, a very classy name of their negotiator, will be there with 2 other individuals to ensure his safety. They ask that, obviously security is very important, but they are each going to bring a small firearm, just in case this is a double cross. You may not want to agree to it, but you kind of have to because, they're walking into your home.
I will agree to it.
Yes.
If it makes them feel more secure.
Yes. So they'll be here around 11 o'clock, but of course it's only like 9:45, and the night is young enough for more interesting things to happen. So all of my characters have lovely, lovely disadvantages, and a lot of them in Cult queue during the first game. So, you know what, Simone? It sounds like a great opportunity to roll for your disadvantage. Object of desire. For some odd reason, the murder nun seems to look very innocent. No one would dare think she would do anything. So why don't you go ahead and roll object of desire, and let's see what happens.
15.
15. Of course, you have to get the boring one. You have to succeed. That being said, it still might be something. So your night so far, we're going to say you are in the club. The music's, I shouldn't say pulsing, because it is more of roaring in this rock scene. You're keeping an eye out. You don't know if the 7 deadly sins have sent anyone in here early. You're keeping an eye out. The only thing that's of real note to you is there is a away from the Eden is actually pretty. It's kind of a long rectangle. There's the stage over there, and the bar over here. So as you get further away, there's a little bit more. It almost could be a place. I mean, you can order food here, but nobody really does. Like there's nachos and chicken wings. That's about it. But there's some bar stools sitting around, and you catch, because you have passed your object of desire check, no one is particularly enthralled with you enough to do anything at this moment. But you do catch that someone is eyeing you for part of the night. A younger man. He himself is just in a kind of a plain black, a very thin sweater. He's there with two other individuals, two men. One of them is definitely had too much to drink, even for 9:45. He's having trouble. He's not having trouble walking yet, but he's totally going to spill his drink on somebody. The other gentleman appears to have is a lot more in control, but this shy one, who doesn't really seem to be talking to too much of his friends or making keeps making eyes at you, as it were. But luckily for you and or him or everyone involved, you are not particularly entrancing this evening. Is there anything you wish to do about that? Because even though your disadvantage doesn't trigger, it doesn't mean that you may not be interested and or anything else. So, Simone, there's a young boy making eyes at you from across this rock concert in a bar. What do you do?
This is definitely not Simone's scene. And she's particularly disapproving of this band's name. So it partially depends. Does he seem like he's into this scene, or does he seem like he got dragged out with these two idiots?
You know what? I'm gonna. This is Cult. This is Powered by the Apocalypse. What's more interesting? I could just skip the roll. You being able to innately sense a little bit of people's motivations, because it's like you judge them and shoot them. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, he was definitely. It seems like he's been here before. Like he's comfortable in his immediate space, but not with the overall environment. It seems like these two knuckleheads drag him out to places like this often, but this isn't. He's not particularly comfortable in the greater situation.
I make some light eyes back at him, but I do definitely have a rosary wrapped around my hand while wearing a cross, while drinking a mug of tea at a bar.
Gotcha. Okay. So we'll hold off on that just because you didn't roll anything too much fun. We're going to see if anybody else does anything, how their rolls go, and whether or not we need to spice this night up or not. But so far, you just have a young boy making eyes at you, and, we'll see how that ends up. That being said, the night still continues as you sip your tea. Now, Eve, yes. I need you. Unfortunately for you, you are a terrible gangbanger, and you may or may not be wanted by the authorities. Why don't you go ahead and roll to see if you've caught any police attention tonight?
Oh boy. That's an 18.
You guys, of course, going to make me work for this drama tonight.
No, right. This is the highest of all the test rolls. I never rolled this high.
Gotcha. Well, hold on.
Do you want me to roll my other disadvantage?
Hold on here.
Since things are going well?
All right, I accidentally hit a button and you guys minimized. I'm like, oh no, okay, we're good. So no, that's fine. Because there's still, even if you pass, the story's still going to move forward. It just may not be as interesting or as terrible if you rolled lower. As you do, kind of, what are you doing? They're going to be here in about an hour and 15 minutes. The 7 deadly sins. You, being the leader of the Riverside Angels, you've had a little bit more of face-to-face run-in with these people, where Peter St. Clair and the St. Clairs don't necessarily always directly deal with them. They send you. So what are you doing tonight, Eve?
Well, all of the angels that are here, all of the Riverside Angels that are here, are all decked out in their various punk battle vests ablazing. Safety pins everywhere. I have made sure that they're on the lookout and will let me know through some hand signals, whisper in the ear once they arrive. I am slowly making my way around the bar, like around the scene, to try and keep an eye out, see if I recognize anybody. I'm really trying to just case the joint.
Gotcha.
Scope
As
the place
you
out.
case the joint, as it were, in very movie fashion, where everyone else is dancing and moving about, there's, of course, one individual through the crowd who is not moving, and the camera keeps open. It is Officer Nichelle. Nichelle has a last name that I wrote down, Nichelle Tripp. She's the one that typically harasses you. She's in the narcotics unit. She's here in plain clothes, and you two make eye contact from across the room. She is here, but she doesn't seem particularly motivated at this time to arrest you, harass you. But she's here, and she's watching you. What do you do?
I'm not gonna make eye contact with her. If I see Caleb, I'll give him
Caleb? Gotcha.
I think that I would have already told every angel that's here, like, this isn't drug. We're not here to make any of our own business. We are here if and or when things go sideways. So
Gotcha.
I'm not too concerned that we're gonna get any narcotics busts tonight because none of us have any drugs on us.
Gotcha.
But I'll make a sign to Caleb, like, be on the lookout.
Are you going to tell anybody else that the police are here?
I'll saunter over to Mary. Because I don't know, even if I've seen, if I see Simone, I'll probably let her know. I'll saunter
Well,
back
why
over
don't
to
you
the
role
bar.
play telling Simone and Mary that?
Mary.
What can I do for you?
Well, I wanted to compliment you on this lovely dark and stormy that you made for me, also to let you know that the police are here.
I'm sorry, what?
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 Officer Nichelle Tripp. Specifically am familiar with her. And she's here. Plain clothes, but she's here on the dance floor.
Okay. Cool. I will I'll pass it along. It's are you going to be okay?
I'm fine. I should yeah, I should be okay. Like, unless they get too handsy with the pat down, I should be fine.
Okay.
All right. Is someone going to tell Peter that the police are here?
If / when Peter makes his way to the bar.
Yeah.
So you have a phone that you can call
Yes.
directly upstairs, Mary.
Since tonight Peter is very unlikely to be heading to the main floor, all things considered, that would make him way too big of a target tonight.
Okay. Then I'm gonna go down to where my phone is charging and then just kind of text him underneath the bar. Hey, apparently we have police in the building tonight. Plain clothes? ?
Fuck. That is also the text that you received back.
Well, which kind? Is it ... fuck, or is it just fuck?
Just fuck.
Okay.
Meaning that since you know him well enough, that is he is actually slightly surprised by that. He did not count on police deciding to involve themselves in tonight, considering it is a respectable club, and this is just a concert.
Sounds good. I'm also
Hey.
going to text Michael.
Michael, gotcha. Cool. Peter, I'm going to check something here.
Of course.
It doesn't necessarily say that. This is an example. You have influential friends. If you wanted to make a phone call,
I think I
to
would like
maybe
to make
get
that
them-
phone call. So
all right, give me a
let's see.
charisma check.
Let us see how I do on that. I don't have a lot of hope. we've been over this, and making bad decisions is fun. I have rolled a whopping total of 12, and that's with my modifier.
Okay, that's fine. Sitting here looking. Feel
Yeah.
like
It's a mixed success, I believe.
still 12. Yeah, 12. That's not too bad. Could be worse. They can arrange it, but you'll have to pay the favor later. Gotcha.
Fine.
I'm gonna make a note of that.
I mean, one hand shakes the other.
Yeah.
That's how this works. Business, all business has costs.
Gotcha. So, you make a phone call. We are going to say, since I took all the time to do this, you call Captain Lioncourt, Bethany Lioncourt,
Oh,
the captain of the 13th Precinct. That is your influential friend. All right. So, it's Captain actually, Peter, so good to hear from you. What can I do for you?
it's wonderful to hear your voice too, Captain. I hope that I'm not interrupting anything.
Always have time for you.
Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. I am getting reports from the floor on my club that I have officers here staking up my business tonight. Both probably outside and actually inside on the floor.
And you want them gone, I assume.
I would genuinely appreciate it. We're just having a nice night. There's a concert here. And I don't mean to be that guy, but police do kind of kill a mood.
Well, I'll be certain to help the mood go well tonight, but you might expect a call from me dealing with this.
Absolutely.
But that's how the world works, Peter.
Of course it is.
Give
I
your best to
understand.
my brother. Or to your brother, not my brother. Give your best to your brother. Give my best to your brother. I don't know.
Absolutely.
It's the mob. Everybody's related to somebody. I don't know. So the phone hangs up, and soon after, the police do leave, or at least the ones that Eve is able to identify. That
And
being said,
Mary will get the text that it's been handled.
Mary, someone hasn't rolled. I need you to make me a repressed memories roll.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
You're just gonna actually, you know what?
That's
Actually,
my-
before you do that, let me describe the situation that's going to bring this up here. Simone, as you're looking across back at that young boy who's making eyes at you, his drunk friend stumbles over to the bar to get another drink. There are servers moving in and out from the kitchen area for what passes for a kitchen area in this place. From behind the bar, he's stumbling, and he bumps into. On here, for some odd reason, my printer wasn't working. Message just popped up. I wasn't using it. Thanks, computer. So he stumbles about, bumps into one of the servers, knocks the drinks over. Unfortunately, a Bloody Mary. He falls to the ground in his drunken stupor. The glass shatters. The mixture goes everywhere, thus leaving him just on the side of the bar, covered in a red liquid. In a very familiar scene, Mary. And now you can make your repressed memory roll. And please roll terribly. Someone roll terribly tonight.
Hey, I expected to roll badly. I wanted to.
Well, Mary, 9. Yeah. Yes.
Hey, there we go.
And now I get to. Yes. Yes. Oh no. All right.
Damn it, Adam.
9.
I love you.
My surprise prop.
Uh,
All right. As I'm chewing in everybody's ear, but it doesn't matter. It was worth it. Okay.
I feel like this is dramatically appropriate.
All right.
this is why we love Adam. My heart.
So, this foolish, drunken man on the floor covered in this red liquid reminds you of the night of the Peter's father's death, and that gruesome scene that no one can really put to words. The Bloody Mary mixture everywhere just brings back the memories. But now you need to make a keep it together roll. A keep it together roll is a coolness check. So why don't you go ahead and roll that for me, and then I'll continue to describe.
That's with both, right?
Mm-hmm. Always with both.
Both.
Always with both.
Okay.
Oh no. Do good, do good.
So my coolness is -1. Does that mean I just take that out of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. 9.
9. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. So when you 9, the strain is too much for your mind to handle. The GM chooses your reaction. So you would suffer. So you're going to suffer emotional trauma. However, you have the advantage of enduring trauma. So you're only going to take half, or you're going to take. You're only going to go down 1 stability.
Okay.
You cower to the. As you see the scene unfold before you, this flashback, you barely remember the night that he was killed. You simply, Mo is the father's nickname, had come down that evening. He could occasionally be a little flirtatious with you, but, you know, it's kind of the price you pay tending bar. But after that, you only remember screams and then waking up from behind the bar. And you guys kind of, so there's the bar, the front part, you would stand here as my bloody finger. And then there's that open area. Right. That's perfect. The body was there, or what was left of it. You were unconscious laying down. And that's where you saw it. That is all that you remember. And you hear footsteps, people scrambling, running out of Eden. That is all that you remember of the night. But seeing this recreated in front of you, you just kind of begin to shake. You drop the glass of whatever you're holding. It shatters. You stumble back. Michael, the shaved, muscle-bound, tattooed man, who is one of the guards, notices this happen and begins to move his way towards you. While this is happening, because I believe we'd established Simone is there. Simone, Mary has dropped a glass and seems to be cowering back. Are you going to do anything at this time?
Yeah, I will go behind the bar to check on her, assuming no one gets in my way.
That would be a very foolish proposition for anyone that tried that. Mm-hmm. Eve, are you there or are you off somewhere else?
I think I'm still there. I think it wasn't that long from me warning.
Gotcha. So Mary begins to stumble back after she's dropped a glass. She looks terribly frightened.
You know, I'm gonna, quick look around, see what was wrong, see the guy on the floor. I'm gonna go to help him.
Gotcha. So, I love it when incidents work together so perfectly for my stories. So, in your terrible memory, Mary, as you are now cowering back into the corner of the bar with a look of abject horror, you see this over the butchered form of Mo. This man walks towards you. He's covered in blood, and he seems to glow behind him. As he reaches down you with blood dripping down his finger, he reaches towards you and says, "Be not afraid." And as you do that, unfortunately, despite what this thing tells you, you are terribly frightened. And you begin to lash out. I want you to make a violence check, please.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Yes.
13.
13. Okay. So you're going to attempt to oh god, this is the one thing I don't, for some odd reason.
I'm about to kick the shit out of someone.
I mean, the only person that's going to be near you is the murder nun, so I wonder how well you're going to hurt the murder nun. So you get a 13?
I have a feeling she'll probably
13.
be okay.
So, see here, engage in combat. You inflict damage, but at a cost. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. In her frightened state, she lashes out at this thing that is coming towards her and telling her to be not afraid. But in her delusion, she does not know that thing moving towards her is Simone. Simone, Mary reaches out to push you away, but you do not notice in her stupor that she still has what's left of that bottle. And she slices you across the cheek. What do you do?
Is she just flailing wildly, or did it seem like
Yes.
an attack?
She is flailing wildly, and I'm not certain of Mary's score, but compared to you, even her attack is probably flailing wildly.
I am going to try to take the bottle from her, but if I can't take the bottle from her, I am willing to just whack her hand on the floor and break it in her hand so she can't slice me again.
Well, that sounds like a combat roll, so you can go ahead and make a violence check. And depending on how well you do is because it sounds like you're trying not to hurt your friend Mary, but if you got to cut a bitch.
Not to. 15.
15.
That
All right,
started
so
so
that
good.
that is so under that you inflict your damage and to your opponent and avoid any counterattack. So I like your idea is so as she's like lashing, I mean she's really just kind of lashing at you. Gets you in the face, blood kind of, because when you get cut in the face, you bleed a lot. But for that moment, you were startled, and then your instincts take over. The next time she kind of flails at you, you grab it. You don't break her wrist, but you kind of you do that, so she drops the weapon. And actually, how would Simone respond to try to bring her friend back out of this frightened state? Are you mean about it? Are you gentle? Tell me how you comfort and or frighten Mary.
Oh, Simone's incredibly gentle.
Okay,
Incredibly
then please
gentle.
roleplay it.
Yeah. So she's dropped the bottle now, so her hand's empty now? Perfect. So I'm definitely going to get her hands in both of mine if I can and get those stationary because I don't need her lashing out at anyone else. And then I'm going to put one hand on the side of her face and I'm going to start saying the Hail Mary. Because that's the most comforting thing I can think of.
So Mary's going to go ahead.
As I said, this figure behind you seemed to, I'm not sure if I said that. Now I'm thinking about it. A lot of stuff's happening in my head. There's this glow behind this figure, and that will kind of transition into the figure of Simone, which I do like the fact that the nun, or the murder nun, has this halo glow behind her. She has nothing to do with halos, does she? So, Mary, you are still frightened. You have lost a point of stability, but you are more than welcome to roleplay now. I am not dictating your actions.
Cool. So as she's saying the Hail Mary, it's starting to like fade out, and I'm starting to kind of see her as she fades back in, and I'm just closing my eyes and just listening, trying to focus instead of freak out as I, notice who she is, and kind of leans into her hand until eventually, like, I take a really big breath and I'm just like, okay, I'm okay.
Eve, as you're over there helping the other man get up, he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." The young boy, which the audience, you do not recognize, you don't know this man, but the audience will know as the young boy making eyes at Simone, comes over to grab his friend. He's like, "I'm so sorry. He's had a little too much to drink."
Wait. You should probably sober up and make sure he gets home safe tonight, yeah?
Yeah, so another gentleman comes over, of the other three. They all have names because I was like really on top of this.
All got names. Oh,
yeah,
well.
yeah.
Fancy.
Yeah,
Name
yeah. Now I'm
characters.
sitting here.
Fancy.
This is the Adam treatment.
Yeah.
This is what
Yeah.
he does for us. He spoils us.
So the young boy or the young man turns to, he's like, "Joe, we should get Seymour out of here." Yeah, and he looks over, and everyone will see this situation unfolding as Simone is bleeding from the face. Yeah. So
you boys go on.
Oh yeah, you know what? I love it. The boy is gonna come over, behind the he leaves his friend there and his friend's other hand, like, oh, we should go. Where are you going? He'll run back behind and he's like, oh my god. He'll grab a towel and begin to essentially treat the wound as best he can. So the boy that was making eyes at you is now trying to clean your face. Aww.
Oh, that's
What do you do, Simone?
Mary's done freaking out because she's definitely my priority.
A little bit. she's
not trying to stab you anymore.
I'm not trying to. Yeah.
The important part.
I know who you are, and you're allowed to take your focus off of me, but realize, like, I am still all up in your business.
So I'm gonna let the boy kind of treat me as well as he can with a bar rag.
Yeah. I mean, he's trying.
Precious.
Stings.
Yeah. Mary's gonna like kind of grip her arm a little bit and just be like, he needs to go.
Yeah.
They need to go.
It's like, oh, the boy's like, that's gonna need stitches.
No, I'll be all right.
Trust me, I'm a nurse that's gonna need stitches.
Oh, you're a healer.
Yeah. It's not too bad though.
That's a noble profession.
Yeah. So Michael will come over, the bouncer. He's going to survey the situation and barely understanding what's happening. All he sees is Simone Sinclair bleeding from the face and these three knuckleheads in the way. He's like, all right.
Behind the bar. Remember, one's behind the bar.
Yeah, so Michael will lumber over and grabs his like, come on, buddy, it's time to go. And he's kind of like, oh! And unable to stop Michael's powerful arms from just grabbing him.
Michael just drags him off like a kitten.
Pretty much. Exactly. Oh, I'm treating you. Help, help. So as he gets drug off.
Don't hurt him.
No promises, he says as he drags him off.
No, I did all I could.
Oh
Peter,
God.
your phone
Yes.
rings up. You get a text message upstairs.
And I will check it.
It's from the negotiator. We're here.
Proceed inside. I'll send someone to the front to guide you.
All right.
And probably that someone is going to be Michael because he is related
As
to
he's
the
already there.
family.
Yeah,
he's
so
he's also
directly to
there.
the family and he's
So
trusted.
busy.
Yeah. So the scene will a little bit of outside narration. He's tossing these boys out. He's gonna see them. He straightens his tight white shirt as best he can, and the scene will essentially begin with him patting the guys down. Bobby D, African American man, big metal shirt. Oh wait, no, wait, that's right. My last prop for the evening, costume change.
Oh no!
It's
hell.
All right, so there we go. He's got the punk outfit on. All right.
Yes!
Yes!
The
All right,
battle
The punk
vest.
vest!
Yeah. So they pat him down. He's got a
Loosen
small
the
weapon.
tie.
Yeah, you're
just-
right. Loosen the tie. There we
There
go.
you go.
Yeah, loosen
There.
the tie.
There we go. Okay. After the stripping, the game will continue. All right. So the game continues. So they pat him down. They each have a weapon. Nothing to speak of, at least in regards to impressiveness.
Yeah.
They're led upstairs. Who's upstairs?
Peter did request that all four of us that are players right now that are present, since he wants a damn good bartender who can keep her mouth shut, and his muscle and the other muscle.
Can we say, if you guys are okay with it, can we say that Mary and Simone are coming up last? Mary's still
Absolutely.
like kind of shaken, but she's trying to like clean Simone up as best as she can,
Absolutely.
and
Yeah.
to, not make her look like she just got stabbed in front of her very important cousin / my boss.
Eve has no problem going first. I'm sure as soon as they are inside, she recognizes them like, that's my cue. You guys should probably follow up as soon as that bleeding is staunched.
So, after the bleeding is, so you're there. You've got a towel on it, something small.
A Band-Aid.
Yes. So.
It's Mary. She's got like little. Once she has like the little tiny butterfly
The proper
stickers.
like.
Yeah.
What she does is she takes one of the stickers behind and she'll just put a sticker on over the thing, so it just looks like she's like at a rave and she's just being cute and kooky.
Blood's
and
dripping out of it.
Like, it's not blood. It's not blood. It's fine.
Oh,
You're
God.
fine.
All
This
right.
is good.
It's good. It's good. Simone,
Do the
don't
mom
use
thing.
your face.
All right, let's
Stop
focus
bleeding.
here. Let's focus up. All right, it's
None
the meeting.
face.
Mary's doing her best to keep it cool while she's serving drinks. All right.
And as a quick reminder, Adam, I am facing who? All. I know that.
So there is Bobby D.
Mhm.
He's a negotiator with his two boys. I can give them names, but they're his boys.
It's fine.
They will be relatively immaterial.
Of course.
So standard Hollywood extras, clearly stuntmen. Bobby D.
Peter St. Clair.
I know Eve. Everyone on the
Bobby.
streets know Eve. He'll look over at the young woman who has a cut on her face. Wild night so far.
Always is here.
All right, let's cut down to business.
Agreed. Care for a drink?
Yeah, sure.
What's your poison?
Whatever you got on tap. I don't care. I'm hoping to get this done quickly. You guys
Pull
want
out,
peace?
Bourbon and just.
We are interested in discussing terms of peace again, yes. We've tried this a few times now.
Yeah, last time you guys wanted 20%. That's too much.
What do you think is fair?
I don't know. You know what? Let's.
2 weeks
you
ago
called this.
considered what do you think is fair?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago considered you're lucky this isn't turned into a fucking bloodbath. But that being said, I'm in your house. Let's talk numbers. 20% is too much. That's what got us last year. That's what got us 2 weeks ago. And that's what's cost Eve over there a couple of her friends. And a couple of my friends.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, I got enough blood on my jacket. I don't need any more.
Cold water, hydrogen peroxide gets blood right out.
Not from your friends. Anyway, we're not going to go any higher than 8%.
See, I'm not willing to start negotiating any lower than 18.
See, and then we're going to be at the same problem. So as the negotiations continue, I need everyone to make a perception check. It probably has a fancy name in KULT, but as us veteran role players, it's a perception check. What would it be called? Observe a situation. It's a perception check, is what it's called.
Excellent.
You roll plus perception. Look at that.
Yeah, it's a perception check, but they have
Perception.
they're called moves in KULT. So I like it. It really helps explain to new people, but people who've been playing RPGs for a while, you're just looking.
12 total.
12 total, so that's at a cost.
So apparently my magic number tonight is 9.
Gotcha. I love nines. I love
Yours
nines.
is 9, mine's 12.
I'm at a 14.
16.
16. All right.
Good.
So we've got 9, 12. Okay. So Simone's the only one who's going to be able to notice something fishy in time to do anything about it. So, as the negotiations continue over numbers and percentages, the camera will pan to Simone as she's dabbing her cheek, covered in blood. She'll look over at the two guards. One of them seems to twitch a little, and as he kind of digs, they start looking. He looks at everyone, both of them do, and then he looks at Bobby D. And as he's like scratching his lip, you will notice that his teeth have turned into just a serrated mess. And he's looking at Bobby, and he's doing his best to contain himself, but then they both no longer can. And they lunge forward. Simone, you're the only one that will be able to do anything, if you wish, at this time.
Are they both lunging for him?
They're both, we will say the one on his right is lunging for Bobby D.
How close am I?
You will probably, so the way I imagine this is, there's Team A, you guys, and, actually I should switch. Team A, the hands that not bloody, and Team B. So you're over here, they're over there. We've got the big kind of heavy desk in the middle.
Yeah, we got a big table between
6
us.
to 8 feet.
I am definitely going to try to get to the one who's lunging for Bobby D. And now I have to operate on the assumption he has normal human, suckier than me, reflexes. So
the way initiative works in this game is you just get to go first because it sounds like you should go first. So,
love it.
Are you going to attempt to injure this person? Is that the plan?
I mean, I figure injury will happen when I when I try to basically get him. Is he shaven or does he have hair?
He has hair. Why not?
Great.
Yeah.
I'd love to get him by the hair and whatever looks like his dominant hand, and basically cop style get him flat into the table.
Gotcha. We have the lightning fast advantage, so when you roll violence, you could choose one of those options. So roll a violence check. And let's see what... First we'll do that, and then you'll roll another violence check for your actual action.
15.
15. Well, the good news is you have 3 edges, and you may spend them at any time during the scene. Your 3 edges are dodge to avoid an attack, blinding speed, engage everyone in combat that which you can reach with a single weapon, an uncanny position, hit your opponent in a weak spot, and do an additional point of harm. Now, to grab a hold of this gentleman, well... Gentleman is a very incorrect word. To get a hold of this man, make one more violence check. It probably won't be the last violence check you make.
14.
14. So with engaging in combat, 14, you inflict damage but at a cost. The GM chooses one of these. See here. Okay, so tell me what it is that you do.
I basically just want to immobilize him. I can't do anything about the other guy at the moment. So the one who looked like he was getting all maw-y, I want to immobilize that maw first off, I think, which is why I want to get him face first into the table and cop style lean on him, immobilize him as best I can.
All right. So you grab a hold of him, and so he lunges at Bobby D, like, and you grab a hold of him, turns to you, and he attempts to counterattack and bite you. So you will make an avoid injury check. If you fail that, you can spend your, if you wish, your lightning fast advantage to avoid it.
Okay.
So avoid harm is a reflexes check. 14. You avoid the worst of it, but the GM decides if you end up in a bad spot, lose something, or partially sustain injury. Do you wish to completely avoid it? Or you could spend that edge, or I will tell you what happens.
Yeah, I have 3 edges to spend, yeah?
Yes. You could spend one to completely...
Yeah, I'll go ahead and spend one to avoid it, because my face has already been injured once.
Tills turns back at you, he grabs you, pins, like throws you to the ground, and goes to bite your face again. Everyone seems to want to take your pretty face off. But you're able to... a martial arts twist, throw him off of you to avoid being injured. At this point in time, I believe Eve and Peter got at least partial enough. Oh no!
Oh,
We're destroying the world!
forgive me. I'll be back.
All right,
Sorry,
so
I threw
Peter, I
him
guess
into a
it's you.
wall.
Yeah, there you go.
I
You threw
guess
him into
it's
the wall.
me.
Yeah, there you
Okay.
go, Peter.
All right, cool.
So,
No pressure, no
what do you
pressure.
want to do? So, however, we will say, because Mary rolled the lowest, Mary is unaware that the other bodyguard is snarling and lunging at her.
Oh no.
So,
That is not cool with Peter.
all right, so what does Peter do?
Considering I'm one of the few people that technically didn't have to get weapons checked when he came into the club tonight.
Yeah, you guys all totally have a gun.
Oh
If
yeah,
you
totally.
think yeah.
Oh, at least that.
All right, make a violence check then, Peter.
All right, here we go. I'm making great choices tonight, everybody.
Strong narrative decisions.
Strong narrative. Yes, that is the name of the game.
We call those bad choices out west.
Oh, so apparently the dice have decided to bless me when I decide to commit violence.
Love it.
16.
16. All right, check this out. So, since it's your first rodeo here, when you have an engage in combat on a 15, you inflict damage and avoid any counterattack. So you have a gun.
Yeah.
One of the options of your gun that you could use your attack is overkill. I love it. It does 3 damage, but it reduces your ammo, which is you have a total ammo of 4.
Mhm.
You will expend half your ammo to just like unload on this guy.
I'm absolutely willing to do that because you don't attack my people in my club, period, full stop.
Gotcha. So he's like, "Wah!" lunges at Mary, who kind of startles back, and you just pull your gun out. Boom, 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 boom. He definitely does the movie, step back as the blood explodes forward. But he is. Actually, no, he is down. So he falls back. Is he dead? You don't know.
Don't know.
But he is down. So now we'll go to Eve. Now that the world has not ended, this guy lunged forward. Essentially, a maw has protruded from his mouth, just teeth, sharp and serrated. Tried to get Mary, but Peter pulls out his gun, unloads half a clip in this guy's chest. The other one tried to bite Bobby D, but was grabbed by Simone.
Yeah.
And attempted to get on top of her. She flipped him off. What are you doing?
Well, if it doesn't look like the one that's grappling Simone is entirely subdued, I'll go ahead and help her out with that. And I will, gonna go ahead and, I'll pull out a knife just because I'm getting up close. I don't want to accidentally shoot her. So I'll pull out my knife to go ahead and give that guy just a nice friendly stab in the neck.
Gotcha. Give him the what for. All right, give me a violence check, please.
A good
Friendly people
Christian
here.
stab.
We're friendly people here. Good
A
Christian.
very friendly stab. Learned from Fred Rogers. All right.
Warning
well,
shot.
Okay. Plus violence. That's a 12.
12. So you do inflict harm. You are going to stabby McStab. So you pull out your weapon. You stab him. Cut, slice, edge. So you do 2 points of harm. How do you shank him while he's on the ground?
While Simone has him, I'm seeing this has already gone sideways. I just come up, hand behind Simone's that has the handful of hair, and just stab in where there should be a neck here. Just go ahead and just. I don't need it to look pretty. I need to get the job done, and I know there are lots of arteries and nerves there.
Cool. So, Mary is the only one who has not gone, but Bobby D is completely confused about this situation. All he knows is suddenly you have attacked his friends. He gets up, pushes Eve out of the way at his friend who's now bleeding from the neck. He's like, Jim, no! And instead of the counterattack being on you, Eve, it's instead going to be on Bobby D. So he's grabbing this throat. He's like, oh, no! And just bites in to Bobby D.
No.
Rips open his throat. The blood just starts spewing everywhere as he falls back.
Oh,
Mary,
no!
what do you do?
other than watch this entire shit show go down.
Oh God.
She's just like,
Hold on, I'm
Mary's too
already
good, too pure.
already uneasy. So I'm just going to grab a bottle and just kind of hold it in front of me, like choked up. I'm ready to just swing, and like slowly backing up.
All right.
Question: are we towards the door? Are we on the side of the door? Are we away from?
There's a door on the way out there. So, give me a disadvantage roll real fast.
Oh no.
Is there a particular one? Or just-
Involuntary medium.
Oh God.
Oh God.
oh boy.
It's uneasy is a -1 to disadvantage rolls, right?
Oh no.
No, the first one. I don't think the first your first stability loss does anything. I don't think it.
It says moderate stress -1 to. Yeah,
So
-1.
we cross off composed. Oh, okay, -1. Okay, sure, yeah.
-1. Okay.
What'd you roll?
5.
Yes. Sorry.
So, what's going to happen is you're kind of cowering back in the corner, getting afraid. There is various ornate. This is an office. It's got its own kind of gothic structure, and the knickknacks, as it were, on the wall begin to like shake. Now, the rest of everyone else is a little busy right now with the holy shit that is happening right now. So, there's not really much they can do. They're not really noticing the initial part of this. You inside, Mary, you start to feel something that's coming. Something that in a way feels familiar but terrifying. Your eyes will go black, and to yourself you will say, and there's this own voice, "Be not afraid. Let me come. Be not afraid." And that is you having your own thing in the corner. Now we're back at the top of the order. Simone, what would you like to do?
So, where are all of our friends right now? Where are we all kind of at?
All right, if you're talking about Bobby D and your guests, one of them is on the ground with like 5 holes in his chest. The other guy is on the ground with a hole in his neck, but he's chewing part of Bobby D, who's now on the ground with a hole in his neck. There's a lot of holes going around here. You have a hole in your face.
It's fashionable.
Mary has a hole in her soul. So everything's going very well.
No holes here. No holes here. I'm good.
Yeah, exactly. So, what do you want to do? So, of threats, the guy that tackled you and then ripped Bobby D's throat is still moving.
Yeah, I think I'm also gonna pull my gun and just sort of bring this to a quick end here. We
Give me
have
a
lost
violence.
control of this situation.
Damn
Well,
right we have.
actually, here's what I'm thinking might be a nice way to just kind of cut through the BS here. Alex, why is your sheet way over there? You will just spend. We're just gonna use.
Oh, yeah,
Give me a violence
certainly.
check just to make sure you don't roll terrible, please. I should say. I mean, you can roll as bad as you want, but
No, Adam, no.
12.
12. Okay. There's like a counterattack or a downside. Oops. Of course, my phone wants to go off.
I do still have my
So
edge.
it hops up. You grab up. Yeah, you're gonna spend one of your edges for. It's like you pull your weapon out of seemingly nowhere. Your weapon is of course silenced, and with just the tiny click, his head will explode out as you've put one in his head. You will turn back. The other guy begins to like snarl and get up. Boom, boom, 2 other clicks. He falls over lifeless as well. Bobby D continues to kick and writhe and then eventually stops moving.
I'm gonna definitely give him a little nudge with my toe, just to make sure he doesn't also.
Everyone appears to be quite dead. The delegation sent by the 7 deadly sins for peace is dead. All of them. Mary is in the corner. Her eyes begin to return to normal. Be not afraid is the only thing she can think. And we will end on one more thing. Mr. St. Clair, your disadvantage hasn't come up.
Oh dear.
Why don't you roll me the competitor disadvantage and see what has been happening while you have been so busy?
Oh dear God. Okay. The dice do not like me tonight, everybody.
Welcome to my life.
9.
The magic number.
The magic number.
The magic. Today's episode is brought to you by
Your
the
phone
number-
Letter
rings.
F and the number
Yeah.
9.
Your phone rings.
Oh God.
Peter.
Right now, seriously, fine. Pick up
It's
the phone,
from one of
answer
your-
it. No, I'll look first. Sorry.
It's one of your cousins. The one person I forgot the name for the night.
Answer it. What?
Holy shit, boss, you wouldn't believe what happened. They just hit us. The car went over the bridge. I think your brother's still inside. And that is where we'll end it. On the war between sinners and saints.
Oh, fuck
Done.
you, Adam!
I hope everyone enjoyed the first part of Sinners and Saints tonight. We will be back next week at about the same time, where we will deal with the aftermath of... one thing I must say, I forgot to tell everyone the name of the episode, which probably it's even better now that I tell you, because I think it only makes more sense. Of course, if I can find it. Oh, why did I not write this? I did write it down. And the name of tonight's episode was Matthew 5:9. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Good night, everyone.